Well, you say that, huh? You don't know what's coming. So, you know, I don't know how to start stand-up shows typically because my material's very, you know, long and bleak, like my life so far. So what I thought I'd do is just open with some light-hearted thoughts, you know, some thoughts, quick thoughts, you know. So light-hearted, just tweets you might call them. A couple of light-hearted thoughts. Okay, number one. Alcoholism. Alcoholism is an anagram of I am cool. And some other letters. Pringles lids make great coasters if you've stopped giving a fuck. This one, not even a thought, it just says left wing but right-handed. What? I don't know. Some say easier said than done, but some things are easier done than said. For instance, can't say that. Cool, let's get bleak. Gonna get bleak. You know, I've been doing stand-up here for 2 years now. And, you know, doing stand-up for 2 years, I've started to feel like very old now. I start to feel very old, you know, because I'm 26 now. You know, yeah, it usually gets a laugh. 26 is old. Not after Freshers Week, apparently. Like, well, yeah. That's pretty bad. Yeah, I do feel very old, and it's kind of weird how your mental state influences your physical state. Because, you know, I'd come home after shows and I'd just have, like, horrible back pain and be, like, coughing weird. You know, just awful, terrible age. I'm like, am I aging myself with my mind? I'm trying to undo it. I'm, like, looking in the mirror, trying to, you know, pep talk kind of thing, like, no, you're not old, buddy. You're young, you're a young man. Young, so young. You're a baby, practically. Young, Mr. Young. Who's that young-looking man? It's me. Just young. And it just doesn't work, because I'm just getting physically worse, you know? And first it starts with, like, back pain. I'm like, heavy lifting, eh? Like a young man. Strapping young man, you lifting things young. And then it's a stomach ulcer, and I'm like, ooh, executive stress, maybe? You young go-getter, you. Go make those quick decisions. Young, so young. Then it's like vitamin D deficiency, and I'm like, staying indoors playing the video games, eh? Who hates the sun more than young people? Young, so young. Then it's shingles, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking old. That's really fucking old. I looked it up online, it's like shingles is a recurrence of chickenpox in adults. Usually common in people aged 80 and over. I'm like, okay, so most people who have that also have grandchildren. Do I have to get grandchildren now? Should I be expecting grandchildren? Because I'll be honest, after that week, I wouldn't fucking mind. I would take them. I think that's the thing you should be able to do now, actually. I think you should just be able to skip kids entirely and go straight to grandchildren. Because grandchildren are way more my level of responsibility. You know, because a kid, that's like, that's a roommate, you know? It's probably not going to pay rent. I don't know if I have that many sandwiches. Being a grandparent, that's kind of easy. That's just, hey, I'm a skeleton and I give you money. We're going to do things I like because I'm nostalgic and my time's limited. We're going to the 90s movie, Jimmy. Was your name Jimmy? I'm sorry, I can't remember in my old age. Or I just don't care, it's one of the two. Tell me, Jimmy. Tell me, young, 19-year-old Jimmy. When I'm in the hospital, next week, by the way things are going, will you come by and pretend like I meant something to you? No. What about 50 pounds? The money skeleton buys love. Yeah, it's weird. And most people, I think that's a pretty bad week. Most people excel at life. I seem to have accelerated, They say you get busy living or you get busy dying. Well, someone made my choice for me, I think. But I think the worst thing about any physical illness, really, and I think we can all agree, the worst thing about being ill is my mother. It's the worst thing, you know. What about the symptoms? Nah, it's my mother. It's always my mother. Because, you know, we're very similar. I love my mother very much, you know. Hello for when you finally see this on YouTube. I don't know how you find it, you don't know how to work computers. I don't mind the jokes, Bob, as long as they're true. Well, you're gonna like this one. Me and my mother were basically both the same 50-year-old hypochondriac foul-mouthed person, you know. But it's, when I have to talk to her about being sick, you know, she never wants to admit I'm sick. She constructs this kind of elaborate web of lies as to why I'm, like, experiencing this. It's basically the opposite of a doctor. It's not helpful. I'd be like, what you got, Bob? What you got? You got back pain. Oh, Bob, you haven't? You've not got back pain? That's nothing. What's happened, Bob, right, is actually you've fallen out of bed, right, in your sleep, onto a plug. And you've not remembered. And that's all that is. And what else you got, Bob? Chest pains. You've not got chest pains, Bob. I mean, we'll all get chest pains, but not you. It's not chest pains. What it is, Bob, you've probably been just punching yourself in your sleep. Because you know what you're like, Bob, you'll beat yourself up about things. And you've not remembered. I seem to be, okay. And don't worry, Bob, you know, you're not going to worry about these things, Bob. You're not going to worry about that unilateral inflammation that follows a perfect dermatome across your body, because that's not a very precise medical symptom of anything, Bob. What that is, right, you've probably, go with us, you've been asleep. There's a theme, yes. You've been asleep, you fell asleep in some jam. I don't know how the jam got in your bed. That's for you to tell me. You've fallen asleep in the jam. You know what happened to your dad? You've fallen asleep in the jam. And what's happened? Spiders have come in your bed. And they've all eaten the jam off your aunt's skin, just bit your dead loads. And then they've crawled back into your mattress where they remain to this day. And you've not remembered. I'm like, okay, cool, so I'm fine then. Everything's great. I'm at the doctor's like, I think I have amnesia. Because my bed's full of jam and spiders. And I seem to be self-harming by mistake. It's like, you've been talking to your mother, haven't you? Is 26 elderly, doctor? And he confirmed it was not. So I was very, very pleased with that, you know. It's just an irrational fear I have of being old, I think. Just slightly irrational, you know. So I'm certainly not going to lean into it. I'm not coming back next Sandy's with a cane and a fucking top hat like, I'm the old guy. Why, in my day, we called the common cold the old farewell. It's not my material. But I do have, I mean, it basically is. But I do have some, like, irrational fears, I realized, you know, certain irrational fears, like flying was one of my irrational fears. I was very scared of flying, and then I realized, you know, I did a lot of flying, and I'm not actually scared of flying. What I'm actually scared of is death generally. That's a real weight off my mind. I don't know what I was thinking before, you know, this death is at the airport, like, oh, I hope he gets this plane. Of course he will. Who would turn down a week's expenses paid in New York? He did. Well, what a fucking loser that guy is. He can keep living. And that's how I've done it so far. Anyway, thanks very much, you guys.